Free Britney is a reality at last.
Britney Spears says that she decided to go along with her conservatorship for one big reason, and the reason is sadder than you might think.
I've been in the conservatorship for 13 years.
In her memoir titled The Woman in Me, Britney Spears reveals that she initially agreed to her conservatorship for a crucial reason, and that was her children.
That is enough for me. I can't do that. I don't do that.
She shares sons Sean Preston and Jaden with her ex-husband Kevin Federline, and following their public breakdowns as well as their divorce in 2008,
Britney Spears and Kevin Federline went their separate ways.
She temporarily lost custody of her kids, which led to her decision to just go along with the conservatorship.
What am I going to do now that the conservatorship's over with?
A California judge then placed Britney under a conservatorship controlled by her father, Jamie Spears, and that would go on for the next 13 years.
Britney Spears, as a judge, finally rules that after 13 years, her conservatorship is no more.
And then when we take a look in her book, Britney Spears wrote these words: "Because I played by the rules, I was reunited with my boys." And honestly, who wouldn't go along with it at that point? Especially if you were in her situation. Like, those are your children, right? And I can only imagine how hard it must have been to be faced with losing access to your children just like that and not really being able to do anything about it. So I 100% get why Britney wouldn't want to resist or fight against the conservatorship. She had to just play the part, follow the rules, or else.
I'm a Sagittarius. I'm very keen on freedom.
Britney goes on to describe the conservatorship as something that stripped away her control over everything in her life. And her father, Jamie, literally managed her diet, her hairstyle, her career, as well as every other aspect of her life. And there was also something very surprising that Britney wrote in the book, and it just goes to show you how much of a strained relationship she and her father actually had, even before the conservatorship. This is what Britney wrote: "Even though I begged the court to appoint literally anyone else, and I mean anyone off the street would have been better, my father was given the job." So for her to say that about her own father, that's just wild. As much as Jamie has said in the past that he did all that he could do for Britney because he thought it was the best thing to do for her, he said this over the years, it still makes you wonder what he really was like with Britney behind closed doors. Like, hearing about how he treated her is one thing, but she's the one who personally lived out the nightmare of her conservatorship and had to deal with her father behind closed doors. Judge Brenda Penny released Britney eventually from her conservatorship in November of 2021 after emotional testimonies about the abuse that she suffered under it. And since gaining her freedom, Britney has traveled, she remarried, but has since separated from her husband. She's reclaimed her social media and even wrote a book. Britney now cherishes freedom as the ability to just be herself, as well as make mistakes and learn from those mistakes.
Be strong and be you.
She then went on to say this: "Freedom means I don't have to perform for anyone, on stage or off stage. Freedom means that I get to be as beautifully imperfect as everyone else. And freedom means the ability and the right to search for joy in my own way, on my own terms." After several leaked anecdotes, including the disclosure about her unexpected pregnancy and deciding to not have the baby with her ex-boyfriend Justin Timberlake back in the year 2000, Britney did clarify that she didn't intend to offend anyone with her candid revelations in her memoir. Over on her Instagram, this is what Britney said about her intentions behind the book. "Hopefully I can enlighten people who feel particularly alone in most cases, or hurt or misunderstood. Again, my motive for this book was not to harp on my past experiences, which is what the press is doing, and it's dumb and silly. I have moved on since then." And I think that's a perfect quote to end off this video. It's definitely very interesting to hear from Britney and see her perspective on the conservatorship, as well as her intentions behind everything. Some of it is pretty sad, pretty heartbreaking. Other things were, pretty surprising. But I want to know, what are your thoughts about this? Be sure to let me know in the comments section. Thanks for hanging out with me here on another video, and I'll catch you guys in the next one. Boom.